Fox Sports.
We are Blackboard. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Today, the Tigers homestand rolls on a cool, crisp afternoon here in the Motor City. We welcome you to Comerica Park for the fourth and final game in this series featuring the visiting Texas Rangers and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us as we continue along on this homestand. The Tigers earning a split yesterday, Ron, in the doubleheader, winning the nightcap. They scored only 3 runs in that game, and really, when you look at what the Tigers did offensively in that first homestand, I think offensively they're trying to get back to what they did the first 6 games of the year.
And I don't think there's any question that this team is going to hit offensively. Obviously, they've run into some decent pitching the first couple of weeks of the year. First 6 games of the season, the batting average was very good. Runners in scoring position, they were getting it done. They were averaging almost 7 runs a game. But since then, just 9 games averaging just 3 runs. But I guess the flip side of that is the pitching's been very, very good, which has allowed them to win quite a few games.
All right, now today, as far as the Tigers are concerned on the hill, Drew Smiley will get the call. Really, his nerves should be out of the way now. He pitched a really good game against Kansas City his last time out, but this Texas team is a little bit of a different beast.
They really are, and one thing he's going to have to do is he's really going to have to command his fastball the way that he did against the Kansas City Royals, although they're 2 different teams. He also is going to have to pitch inside. He had a really good breaking ball against Kansas City, which he didn't have in his very first outing, but you brought it up. There were some nerves involved, but really he showed me something after taking a bullet right off his back early in the game. This kid was able to stay in the game and go on and get a W in that ball game, so he really showed his toughness in that outing against Kansas City.
All right, should be fun to see how Drew Smiley does today against one of, if not the best offense in the American League. We'll continue to get you ready for baseball, but in the meantime, let's check into the Call Sam studios now. Here's Justin White. Well, the bullpen was on high alert yesterday after the Rangers scored 8 runs in the first inning of Game 1. And, Rod, this quintet really did some yeoman's work yesterday in the doubleheader.
That they did. The Texas Rangers can really stress out your starting pitching, which means you're going to have to get into that bullpen early. 11 innings so far logged by the bullpen in this series, and Dwayne Velo has done the bulk of that work. Slaverty's no longer here. Dotel is good to go today. Benoit and Valverde also good to go, even though they threw 30-plus pitches in yesterday's game. But really, it's a testament to the offense of the Texas Rangers, just how they grind out at-bats. They grinded out a lot of really good at-bats against Verlander as well.
Yeah, they did indeed. Verlander was up to the task, though. Now, as far as looking forward to today, the Rangers won the first 2 games in this series. How big would it be for the Tigers to get a split here this afternoon?
Are you kidding me? It would be monumental based on what happened in the first 2 games of this series. Usually you want to win a series at home, but you will take a split against the hottest team on the planet right now.
Ron Ellis says it's big, so it's going to be big if the Tigers get a split here this afternoon. We are hoping that will be the case on a cool afternoon for baseball. JB was up to the task yesterday, slowing down those red-hot Texas bats. He'll turn the baseball over to rookie Drew Smiley today. Stay with us. Tigers and Rangers coming up next. Well, it's a cool afternoon here at the ballpark. The Tigers getting set to host the Texas Rangers in the final game of this 4-game series. We are glad you are spending part of your Sunday here with us this afternoon. Here is the starting lineup for the Rangers, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Texas lines up like this in the finale. Kinsler, Andrews, and Hamilton at the top of the lineup. Michael Young is the DH. Nelson Cruz in right field. Mike Napoli has been white hot in his last 6 games, 10 for 24. Torrealba, Gonzalez, Gentry rounding out their starting lineup. Drew Smiley is on the hill for the Tigers. He is presented today by the Soaring Eagle Casino.
Well, he'll need to go out and compete today against one of the best offenses in all of baseball, the Texas Rangers. Last time out, Smiley had a good fastball. He got up to 95 miles an hour, but his breaking pitches were much improved. And as we watched in last night's game, you need a good breaking ball to kind of keep these Rangers off balance.
And so Smiley with a tall task here this afternoon. We'll see if he is up to it as the Rangers get settled into the batter's box. It'll be Ian Kinsler to start things off for Texas. Rangers have won 2 of the first 3 in this series. Tigers winning the nightcap of the doubleheader last night. Kinsler batting .306, and here we go. The first pitch of the ball game is a strike. A couple of hits and 9 at bats in the doubleheader yesterday for Kinsler. Had a couple of RBIs as well. Smiley's 0-1 pitch. Another strike on the outer edge. Kinsler disagrees with Tim Welke. And he'll step out of the box in protest.
Well, a lot of the Texas Rangers were beefing with home plate umpire Paul Schreiber in last night's game because he had a very generous strike zone on the outside part of the plate.
Smiley working quickly, the 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kinsler. Well, the one thing we've learned about Drew Smiley is he is a very quick worker, and we certainly like that. So does his defense. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Missed with it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Smiley, the Tigers minor league pitcher of the year last year, was 11-6 at 2 different levels in the minor league system. Kinsler slaps this one foul. 2-2 on Ian Kinsler. There are his numbers. 2.07 ERA. He pretty much just cruised right through a couple of levels in the minor leagues. And here he is.
Only 1 year of professional experience under his belt before this season.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, you spoke of his last start against the Kansas City Royals. He went 6 innings, giving up no earned runs, 1 run total in that game, and shook off that line drive that drilled him right in the back. Here's the 3-2 pitch now to Kinsler, and it's a bouncing ball to third. Nice backhanded play. Cabrera shoots him down. Nice play.
Let's take a look at the Tigers' defensive alignment here this afternoon. It's always presented by Beaumont Health System. Young, Jackson, Bosch in the outfield. You know Cabby's at third. Peralta, Santiago up the middle, and Fielder the DH today, which means Don Kelly getting a nod at first base. Cabrera has a very strong arm from third base, but take a look how he plants his feet. He throws off that right foot, which allows him to get something on his throw, and it's very accurate to Don Kelly.
So Kinsler has kept off the base pass. Here is Elvis Andrus. And he looks at one right down the middle, 0-1. Andrus, a couple of walks in the doubleheader yesterday, finished 2 out of 8. His average now at 246. Smiley deals another strike, and it's 0-2. You can tell Andrus now is having a quiet chat with Tim Welke as he steps out.
It's going to be one of those days, I guess.
Apparently so. The strike zone has been established. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that missed inside.
It's going to be very important for Smiley to do that on occasion, and that's make some of the Texas Rangers hitters move their feet, and just so they're not as comfortable as they have been, at least in the first 2 games of the series.
There's a bouncing ball left side. Here comes Peralta with the backhand. Andrus is out, 2 gone.
After starting Andrus off with a couple of fastballs away, he threw a breaking ball down at his feet and then came back and crowded him with a really good 2-seam fastball that ran in on him. Andrus couldn't get to it.
Johnny back at short for the final game of this series. Santiago had a big game yesterday in the nightcap, playing for Peralta. Here is Josh Hamilton, and he swings on the first pitch and fouls it away.
Josh had a rough evening last night. 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, and that nightcap, it was not a good night. In fact, he struck out to end the game. But he is still batting a robust .391.
And has a lot of talent.
Checks his swing. Did he go? He sure did. Paul Schreiber says yes, 0-2.
Now, Hamilton had a difficult time of laying off the changeup of Verlander last night, and also the splitter of Valverde to end the game.
Hamilton currently 3rd in the American League at .391. Very talented performer, batting among the best in the American League, but he's also hit 6 home runs. And that's fouled away. He's hit safely in 13 of 15 this year, so Hamilton off to a red-hot start. In fact, so are most of the Rangers.
I don't know exactly what they're going to throw here, but if he wasn't afraid, he can come inside with a fastball and get him out.
Drilled in the air, deep into right field, way back, and Hamilton has hit another homer.
Didn't get it in.
A line drive home run to the seats in right field. That's number 7 for Josh Hamilton.
He is skilled. I mean, he's got some talent. He's not really looking for the fastball inside because they've given him a steady diet of breaking balls down and away. Avila goes in with a fastball. I didn't think it was a bad call, but you have to get it inside if you're going to go in there against Hamilton. He pulls his hands in and drills that ball. You have to get it in.
And he left it up as well. Hamilton now has 16 RBIs and the quick 1-0 lead for Texas. Smiley, undaunted, comes right back to Michael Young and delivers a strike. So Drew is getting ahead of hitters. Young is the designated hitter today for Texas. That one bounces in.
I guess some guys you just can't try to trick.
Nope.
Up here. They had success all night long against him going down and away with changeups. Smiley threw him a breaking ball down. He flailed at it. Tried to sneak that piece of cheese by him, and he drilled it.
Young with a 9-game hitting streak. And he slaps this one back out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Michael Young at .414 with a couple of homers. 12 RBIs. 1-2 is on the ground left side. It finds a hole, and Michael Young just seems to do that better than anybody.
Well, we watched the game last night and also yesterday afternoon where the Rangers kind of had their way against Porcello. Porcello threw a lot of fastballs in the 1 inning that he was out there. But in the nightcap, Verlander probably threw 35-36% off speed pitches. And he was able to pretty much maneuver his way through this Texas offense. They feast on fastballs.
Another 10-game hitting streak for Michael Young. Here's Nelson Cruz. Popped him up foul, back out of play. So the Rangers, who had their hitting shoes on Thursday night when they piled up a total of 19 hits. And then in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday, they added 17 more. They're starting quickly again here today. 5 for 14 for Cruz in this series. That's a little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Home run by Josh Hamilton, giving the Texas Rangers the early lead, 1-0. That's in there. Strike 2 call. Young at first with 2 outs. We're in the first inning, just underway. And now Cruz given time. Nelson Cruz, since the start of 2009, has hit 86 home runs, more than any other Texas Ranger in that span. And he waves and misses. Smiley takes care of it, ending the inning. 1 run on 2 hits. The home run by Hamilton, his 7th of the year, makes it 1-0 Texas. This afternoon on the home run by Josh Hamilton. 1-0 is our score. Tigers coming to the plate in the bottom of the first looking like this. It is presented by Big Boy. Jackson Bosch Cabrera at the top. And Miguel has good numbers career against the Rangers. Prince Fielder, the DH this afternoon. Delman Young is in left. Avila will catch. Peralta, Kelly, Santiago, your bottom three. Colby Lewis is the starting pitcher for Texas today, presented by Fox Chevrolet of Rochester Hills.
Lewis is off to a terrific start in the month of April in 2012. The earned run average is 1.83. He has struck out 22 and walked just one. Not an overpowering fastball, only up to 90 miles an hour, but he's got some really good secondary pitching.
Well, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. Here is Jackson to lead it off now for Detroit. Jackson, Bosch, Cabrera. Colby Lewis steals a strike, 0-1.
That's what Colby Lewis does. Hides the baseball very well and spots his fastball with pinpoint control.
Lewis has 22 strikeouts, 1 walk this year, and we spoke of his command, and that certainly will help him, but he will also give up some home runs because of that command.
He gave up 10 home runs in the month of April alone last year and got off to a miserable start for the Rangers.
1-1 to Jackson is on the outer edge.
He's got a curveball. It's a slow curveball. He'll lead several hitters off with that pitch. Bosch and Cabrera and Fielder, the big boys. Also a slider and a cutter.
That one missed too far away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Colby Lewis, a former Detroit Tiger. Not much of his time here, though, he was injured. Here's the 2-2. It's drilled in the air toward left field, and that ball is up and off the wall on 1 hop. Jackson motoring towards second, and he is in with a leadoff double. Good start.
Jackson got himself a fastball that was up in the strike zone, and he smashed it over the head of Hamilton in left field. And Jackson continues to do a pretty nice job with 2 strikes. The 2-strike approach has been really good the first couple of weeks of the year for Austin.
So here is Bosch. They really need to get Brennan going. He is, or was, 1 for 11 in this series, and he is a critical bat, especially when you get Jackson getting on base to lead things off.
Well, he needs not to try to do too much in this situation with Jackson on second, nobody out. A simple ground ball to second base would be good enough.
2 balls, no strikes on Bosch.
That would get Jackson over to third with just 1 out and kind of set the table for the big boys.
That's fouled back out of play. 2-1. Bosch so far this year 6 RBIs. Of course, Brennan's first major league hit was against these Texas Rangers a couple of years ago in Arlington off Rich Harden. His first at bat, he doubled off the left field wall.
First swing.
And he was off and running, boy, when he first came up.
Yes, he was.
Tailed off in the second half.
Very easily could have made the All-Star team that year.
Fouled off right at home plate off of the catcher, Torrealba.
Jim Leland gave him one of the games off yesterday, and he was the DH. He wanted him to get away from playing defense for one game and maybe concentrate on hitting. That ball right off the left shoulder of Torrealba, who took a beating in last night's game.
Two balls, 2 strikes. The Tigers' top 6 in their lineup today. They came in batting .426 career against Lewis. So for the first 6 hitters in the lineup, they've had a lot of success against the Texas right-hander. And the 2-2. It's high. 3 balls, 2 strikes. On deck is Miguel Cabrera. Jackson has led the game off with a 2-base hit. Tigers trail 1-0 as we play in the bottom of the first. And the 3-2. Luke foul back out of play. Lewis is 32 years old. He was born in Bakersfield, California, and has bounced around a little bit. He broke in with Texas, went to Japan for a couple of years, and his time in Japan was basically spent trying to get back to the big leagues, and he performed so well there that he earned another opportunity. Won 26 games in 2 seasons over in Japan. That's fouled away again. 3-2, the count stays on Brennan Bosch. Lewis broke in with Texas in 2002. Former first-round pick of the Rangers. Technically a compensation pick between the first 2 rounds. Swing and a miss, and Bosch goes down on strikes. Lewis has his first strikeout of the game.
Let's take a look at the Texas Rangers defensively in the ball game this afternoon. The very talented Hamilton's in left, Gentry the speedster, he's in center, Cruz in right, Gonzalez, Andrews, Kinsler, Napoli round out the infield in Yorvitz, Torrealba behind the plate. Here's where Kobe Lewis likes to start some of your bigger power hitters off with that really slow curveball. He hasn't thrown it yet.
Oh, 0-1 on Cabrera. 281 average for Miguel with 12 RBIs, 4 for 12 in the series. He is homered. That was in game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday. Here's the 0-1. It's fouled back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes.
Lewis, a perfect example of a guy that is not overpowering, but yet you see some of the hitters a little tardy on the fastball.
Yeah, that last one was at 88. 0-2.
It's all about location with Colby.
Grounded toward third, fair ball. Nice play by Gonzalez. Throw high, but they got the out. Meanwhile, Jackson will scoop to third. Whale of a play on both ends.
Nifty footwork for Napoli, who is a catcher by trade, but he jumps up and he catches it and able to get back down to get the bag before Cabrera gets there.
So the tying run is at third base. Gonzalez's throw was high, but Napoli able to pull it down. Here is Prince Fielder trying to deliver the game tying hit here. 0-1 the count. .327 average for Prince. He has scored 3 times in the series. Way high. 1 ball, 1 strike. You were talking about Lewis and his struggles last April. His ERA was about 5.5 in the month of April. Much different story this year. Here's the 1-1. Ooh, look out. That almost hit Delman Young on deck. Delman had to do a little dance to get out of the way.
You better be paying attention when you're in that on deck circle.
It's fouled back out of play. 1-2. Prince Fielder 2 for 10 in the series. And so far this year, Prince with 8 RBIs. Tigers got a couple of big 2-out knocks in last night's ball game. There's a bouncing ball first base side. It's a foul ball. Mike Estabrook emphatically calling it foul. New baseball now for Colby Lewis. Gave up the leadoff double with 2 outs. Tigers have a man at third. The Hamilton home run in the first inning gave Texas the lead. Driven down the right field line, but he was out in front of that one. And he yanked it foul.
For a big guy, the Prince Fielder has lightning quick hands, especially on balls down and in.
Prince still looking for that first home run since the opening homestand of the year. And he rolls that one to first. That is a fair ball this time. Napoli gobbles it up and the inning is over. So the Tigers threaten with a leadoff double but do not score.
He has been on fire this week. He started in Boston with 3 home runs in 3 consecutive days, and he has done it a couple of games already in this series. So he's been circling the pillows quite often this last week.
What'd you call him?
Pillows. He might just be player of the week this week.
I got to start using that. I like pillows. He might be. He's off to a really good start with this current stretch, and Drew Smyly goes back to work.
5 homers this week for Mike Napoli.
He hit 30 last year, which was a career high for the slugging catcher slash first baseman.
And he batted 8th in the first game of that doubleheader yesterday. 8th,
yeah. That's how deep this lineup is. Smyly fires a strike 1-1. Drew in that first inning was 5 of 5 in first pitch strikes, so he was getting it over early. Hamilton got him for the home run, though. Here's the 1-1. Good pitch, 1-2.
Good changeup, good action on that pitch by Smyly. The key to the changeup is you hold the ball in your fingertips and you throw it with the same arm speed as you throw your fastball.
Did he go? Nope.
Really?
Mike Estabrook said he did not. Let's see. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Didn't matter. Second strikeout for Drew.
Nice sequence of pitching there to Napoli. A changeup that was located. He got a breaking ball check swing and then came back with a 90-mile-per-hour heater. He changed his eye level. He went up in the strike zone to get the swing and miss.
Here is Yorvit Torrealba. Six-game hitting streak for the Texas catcher. Yorvit is such a different name that I was doing some research to see where he might have gotten that name.
You were?
I did. And I came up with something.
What'd you come up with?
First the 1-0. It's a strike. Well, apparently his parents couldn't figure out if they should call him Yorman or Victor, so they just combined both.
Wow.
And got Yorvit. And there you have it. There's a strike call. 1-2.
You never know what you're going to get when you tune in to
I can tell you're thoroughly amazed by that.
A Fox Sports Detroit broadcast, just as all the listeners are.
Out of Caracas, Venezuela, Yorvit Torrealba. Swing and a miss. In any language, that's a strikeout. Third of the game now for Smiley. Hey, by the way, this game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD. It is sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. Here's Gonzalez, who is playing today for Adrian Beltre, who hurt his hamstring in the doubleheader yesterday.
They don't think the injury to Beltre is that serious. But if you're going to err on any side, it's got to be on the side of caution. First couple of weeks of the year with your Gold Glove third baseman and Silver Slugger winner at that third base position last year.
Yeah, no doubt. In fact, he is having an MRI tomorrow, is Beltre, and they will figure out where he is at that point. But Beltre doesn't feel it's as bad as it has been in the past. Meanwhile, his fill-in has just hit a ball down the left field line, and Gonzalez is motoring to second base with a double.
Smiley, if he could do it all over again, he would make a little bit better pitch. No balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, this ball gets too much plate, and Gonzalez rips it right past the diving Cabrera.
Rangers have their third hit. Another scoring opportunity with the 2-out double. And the number 9 hitter Craig Gentry steps in. Gentry looks at strike one. So Smiley's still getting ahead of hitters. Gentry is hitting .300 this year, 3 out of 8 of the series. He provides some speed to this Texas lineup. They have a lot of it at the top as well. In there, strike 2. And now Gentry is going to have a chat with Tim Welke.
First pitch fastball was outside on the black. The second pitch was inside. It was a strike.
Not sure what the beef was there. Here's the 0-2. Broken bat. That just sounded bad. Gentry will put some pine tar on the new one. It's one of the new rules they instituted a couple of years ago to speed up the games. The bat boys have to have a replacement bat for every hitter ready to save time in case there is a broken bat. And there have been a lot over the last couple of years. 0-2 on Craig Gentry. Just off the corner. Gentry last year in his first full year with the Rangers hit .271. stole 18 bases and wasn't caught. He's trying to pick up Gonzalez at second. And a bouncing ball to third, right at Cabrera. That'll end the inning. So nothing comes of a 2-out double. 1 man left for Texas. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or see your local dealer today. And by Jif Peanut Butter. Choosy moms choose Jif. Back here in downtown Detroit on a cool, cloudy afternoon here in the Motor City. Tigers down by a 1-0 score as the Tigers come to the plate here in the bottom of the second. Colby Lewis gave up a leadoff double in the first, but the Tigers could not get him in. Delman Young leads it off, sporting a 5-game hitting streak. And he looks at strike one on the outer edge.
It looks like that strike zone is generous for both teams today.
Yeah, especially the outside part of the plate for right-handed hitters. The 0-1 pitch. Lewis tries to go back out there but missed. Now the 1-1. Low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Delman batting .288, 4 for 11 in this series. And he pops it up. Behind the plate, Torrealba discards the mask. And Delman is out, 1 gone. That'll bring up Alex Avila. Alex in the series 0 for 4. Ball 1 to Avila. I mentioned Colby Lewis was a Detroit Tiger at one time in his career. He spent most of his time with the Tigers playing with Toledo. And it's amazing how he's been able to get back to the big leagues after 2 years in Japan, Rod. And I guess he proved himself there. He won 26 games.
Well, he was tremendous over there. He led the league in 2 straight years in strikeouts. 1 year with 186, the next year with 183 in 55 starts. and he doesn't walk very many. And he also credits the 2 years that he spent over in Japan as kind of resurrecting his career. He learned how to pitch over there.
It was back in 2008 and 2009. 2-1 on Avila. Now 3 balls, 1 strike.
In the 2 years that he spent over there, he racked up 369 strikeouts and just 46 walks.
Whoa. That's some serious control. There's a drive to right, base hit. And Avila is aboard with a 1-out single. Tigers have their second hit of this game. By the way, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the Angus Third Pounder Deluxe. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338, or simply vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com.
Avila got himself in a hitter-friendly fastball count and got himself a 3-1 cookie. And right down the middle, and he drilled it to right field for a solid single.
Here's Johnny Peralta.
I've noticed the Texas Rangers starters, and every last one of them have done this in this series. They like to quick pitch you when you're in that batter's box. Even with Avila on first base, a guy that doesn't steal bases, he quick pitched Johnny Peralta on that first delivery.
Who did it yesterday? Somebody did.
All of their guys have done it.
Yeah.
Harrison did it in the first game of the doubleheader. Dotel did it as well in the nightcap. Check him out here. That's a slide step against a guy that's not going anywhere in Avila.
In the air to right field. Cruz coming over. And Avila retreats. 2 outs.
I'm sure that's something that they're being taught by their very talented pitching coach, Mike Maddox, because all of them do it.
I was about to say, when you have all of them doing it, that's got to be a Mike Maddox type thing.
And to take it a step further, we saw Harrison do it yesterday with a runner on second base, a slide step to home plate.
Well, here's Don Kelly. Here's Mike Maddox, who spent quite a few years pitching in the major leagues. And he has his staff right now among the best in the AL. Kelly getting the start at first base today. Fielder is the DH. Ball 1 to down.
Don Kelly, the super sub. He'll get some starts in the outfield on the corners. He started at third base in last night's game. First today, as you mentioned.
And there's a ball outside. 2-0 on Kelly.
With that designated hitter spot being vacated this year with Victor Martinez not available, and Jim chooses to rotate that with some of his regular players.
That's popped up. Foul ground, third base side. Now into fair territory, and Andrews has to come over to make the play. So the Tigers are done. They get a single strand of man, and you're watching Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire.
Roster moves yesterday between the doubleheader that affected their bullpen. Daniel Schlereth sent down to Toledo to work on some things. Daniel said he totally understood the move. He does have some things to work on. And they brought up Thad Weber, who was very excited to join the Detroit club. I talked to him this morning in the clubhouse. He said he got the call. He was actually at lunch with a friend, went to get all of his stuff and head up to Detroit. The first phone call he made was, of course, to his wife, who was in Nebraska. The second call was to his dad, his biggest fan. Said he was thrilled to be up with Detroit. Was a little bit nervous yesterday when he was warming up in the ninth, but says when his number's called, he'll be ready to go. Mario and Rod, I'll send it back up to you.
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. There is the roster move yesterday. Daniel Schlereth and Thad Weber. Schlereth going down. And I don't know about you, Rod, but I never get tired of those first major league stories. I mean, it's really cool for the young man to get his chance.
No question. I was talking to Jeff Jones today, and he said Weber, not a hard thrower, but has an outstanding curveball. Can't wait to see him pitch.
Here we go to the third now as Drew Smiley goes back to the hill.
Who do you think bought lunch yesterday? Weber or the friend?
Well, I hope it was Weber.
You're going to the big leagues,
That's
young man.
right.
You got this one.
1-0 Texas as Ian Kinsler leads it off. Kinsler bounced out to start the game. Here's Smiley's 1-0. There's a strike, 1-1.
Smiley doing a nice job of throwing inside today with his fastball. 89 to 92, locating it.
And he went strike one on 8 of the first 9 that he faced this afternoon.
And the Rangers have the type of team, if they realize that you're not going to pitch inside at all, they will feast off of it. There he goes again.
Strike 2 called by Tim Welke. 2-2.
That's kind of a lost art in the major leagues. Most guys try to work down and away to the right-handers.
Toward right field. Bosch is on the run, but it's going to go foul. Josh Hamilton hit a home run in the first inning, a solo shot, his 7th of the year. That came off Smiley, and that right now is the only run of the game. There's a ground ball left side. Cabrera cuts it off. Kinsler's out. He's 0 for 2. 1 gone. To the studio we go for a game break. Here's Justin White. Thanks, Justin. A slow day at the highlight desk, apparently, but we'll take it. Here it is 1-0 on the home run by Hamilton. Here's Elvis Andrus. Ball outside to Andrus. Elvis also grounded out his first time up, 3 for 9 in the last 2 days. He was 2 out of 8 in the doubleheader yesterday, but he also walked a couple of times. The 1-0 pitch is in for a strike, 1-1. Andrus, going up in Venezuela, was quite a soccer player and said his favorite sport was soccer, not baseball growing up. He played a lot of soccer until the age of 16 when he was signed by the Atlanta Braves, and they said no more soccer, only baseball. 1-2. He and Kinsler were both very good soccer players growing up, so I'm sure that helped out their footwork.
No doubt about that.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Back out of play. Andrus has turned himself into one of the top shortstops in the game. He committed quite a few errors last year, 25, but he has tightened up his defense this year. Swing and a miss, and Smiley takes care of him.
Smiley's dealing. For the most part, keeping the ball out of the middle of the plate. He's only made one mistake in the game, and that's to the hitter who is standing in the batter's box right now, Josh Hamilton. But look at the location of that cut fastball, down and in. It disappeared on Andrus.
Smiley has really showed some good poise in his first 3 starts in the major leagues. Swing and a miss. Hamilton out of the strike zone that time. Smiley in his first start loaded the bases against Tampa and really had to work himself out of a jam. That's outside.
Well, if you remember in that first start, Jim Leland made a stroll out to the mound when the bases were loaded and simply told him, throw the baseball, son, which he did. And he got out of that jam.
Little floater into left field. Hamilton has himself a single. He's 2 for 2 in this game. We'll bring up Michael Young. Young had a single in the first. The Rangers now have 4 hits. Ooh, that's fouled off, and that drilled Alex Avila.
I saw a piece today that Shannon Hogan did, and she was having a conversation with Michael Young, the DH of the Texas Rangers, and he said that when he is DHing, as we get a look at that foul tip off of the right hand of Avila, but I think he's okay. Young says he likes to sit in the dugout. He doesn't like to go upstairs and ride the bicycle and cloud his mind by watching a lot of video of his last at bat. He says he likes to stay in the flow of the game because mentally it allows him to do what he does when he gets in that batter's box. A lot of guys like to go ride a bike and stretch. He's not one of those guys.
Yeah, they're all different. And a few guys that I've talked to in the past love to go on ride the bike, maybe take some hacks in the cage and stay loose that way. But Young does it a different way.
It works for him. Quietly, every single year, Young just has a banner season.
Bouncing ball left side. Peralta fires to second for the force. That will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit. 2.5 in the books here at Comerica. Lewis get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you. Flashback to June 6, 2011 against the Tigers, and they touched up Lewis for 4 home runs in that game. Bosch hit a pair, Dirks hit one out, and Alex Avila went the other way as well. So the Tigers in the past have done some good work against Lewis. So far today, though, no runs on 2 hits. Santiago leads it off, then Jackson, and then Bosch.
A big base hit for Santiago in yesterday's game against Neftali Feliz, the starter of the Texas Rangers. Drove in 2.
And it turned out to be the game-winning hit, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
That made it 3-1. The Rangers would get a run late in the game. Chipped his bat. Put that in the firewood pile.
Today's a good day for some firewood.
A few blankets around in the crowd as well. A little bit chilly today. 48 degrees our temperature. High drive, deep right center field. This ball is tagged well, and that ball is going to find the gap and go all the way to the warning track. Santiago is motoring to third base, and he's in there with a triple. First of the year for Ramon.
Gentry in center field and also Hamilton in left field were shading Santiago to the shortstop side of second base. You can see where Gentry's taking off from, and he had to run a mile to try to run down this leadoff triple by Santiago. And actually, it's Cruz that runs it down the right fielder.
So the Tigers in great shape now with the tying run at third, nobody out. Jackson trying to drive him in. Strike one on Austin.
And as soon as Santiago hit this ball into the right center field gap, he knows that he's going to get a triple because he knows that no one's going to catch it.
Swing and a miss. Now quickly 0-2 on Jackson.
Ron Washington has his defense relaxed up the middle. All Jackson needs to do is hit something towards shortstop or second base, and he'll get an RBI out of this. Napoli at first base is playing in close, as is Gonzalez at third.
Triple by Santiago, the third Tigers hit this afternoon. They had a leadoff double by Jackson in the first, but couldn't plate him. Here's the 1-2. And it'll get back out of play. So Lewis already has given up 2 extra base hits. One ball, 2 strikes on Austin Jackson. Inside, backed him out of there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Popped up, foul. Into the seats it goes. Jackson, 12 runs scored, good for 6th in the American League. Here he is trying to drive one in. It would be the tying run in the third. A little chopper right back to the mound. This won't get it done. Lewis throws him out.
Hey fans, you can see the Tigers battle the Mariners Tuesday and Wednesday at 7:05. $16 mezzanine seats are $10 and $24 upper box seats are only $12. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. And Seattle Mariners group had a perfect game thrown against them yesterday afternoon. If you missed it, Philip Umber of the Chicago White Sox pitched the 21st perfect game in the history of Major League Baseball.
Former #1 pick never really materialized until he got to Chicago. That's way outside. 1-0. Late bloomer, I suppose, Philip Umber. Perfect game now in his back pocket. So Lewis trying to pitch out of a leadoff triple. He's facing Bosch here. He struck him out back in the first inning. Breaking ball slides in 1-1.
He will do a lot of that. The little slow breaking ball.
Torrealba, brief chat. with his pitcher Lewis. Mike Maddox has watched Lewis throw over 200 innings each of the last 2 seasons in a Texas uniform. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pulled foul right by Tom Brookins. Well, you mentioned Umber. He needed 95 pitches to throw that perfect game. The 3rd in White Sox history. Swing and a miss. And Bosch goes down on strikes for the 2nd time, and that runner still standing at 3rd base. Well, here comes Miguel Cabrera, and time now for the Mazda scouting report on Cabrera. Yesterday's game, his 32nd time as a Tiger with 3 hits and a home run in the same game. That's just as a Tiger. The type of numbers that he has put up in a Detroit uniform. Now he's going to have to deliver a 2-out hit. And he looks at ball 1 high. And really, for the Tigers offense, a microcosm of what the last week and a half has been like. Leadoff triple, but Santiago still standing at 3rd.
There was quite a bit of wind here blowing out to right field yesterday, but it didn't bother Cabrera. Hit a long fly ball to left field, which carried into the Tigers bullpen. Murphy in left field ran out of room.
Popped him up. See if it gets back to the seats. Torrealba back into his dugout. 1-2 on Cabrera.
That could have been ugly. And painful.
The 1-2. That'll get away. Here comes Santiago to score. How about that? A wild pitch gets the run in with 2 outs. And Lewis has to be kicking himself right now.
And nothing really Torrealba could do here. It's a breaking ball that's down or a cut fastball, and he just couldn't get over and smother. Score him any way you can.
Tigers will gladly take it, no doubt. 2-2 on Cabrera. 1-1 ball game. And the 2-2 pitch. Driven to right field. Hit well. Cruz back. Looks up off the wall. Cabrera is on his way to 2nd. He is hustling, and he is out at 2nd base.
Cruz, boy, does he need a license for that gun he carries.
Single for Cabrera. Thrown out trying to stretch it to a double. He challenged the arm of Nelson Cruz.
Kansas City, Jeff Francoeur or Nelson Cruz. Cabrera gets on top of a fastball, and when Cruz gets over to pick this ball up, Cabby just getting to first base and decides to challenge Cruz, and Cruz guns him at second.
Maybe we should have a throwing contest between those two guys.
There's a lot of guys that can really throw in this league. Sin-Soo Choo, he's got a tremendous arm in right field for Cleveland. Nick Markakis, he's got a really good arm in Baltimore.
For me, I think I'm going with Francoeur.
You going Francoeur?
Yep.
Well, no one has thrown out more runners than Francoeur from that right field position that he plays now in Kansas City. 98 assists, I believe, last time I checked for Francoeur since the beginning of the 2005 season.
Yeah, he had 16 of them last year.
That's 20 more than anybody else.
Cruz leading it off after throwing out Cabrera. We're in the fourth inning in a 1-1 game. Cruz, Napoli, and Torrealba. Each team a run on 4 hits. 3-1. Smiley has not fallen behind too many Texas hitters in this game. He struck out Cruz to end the first inning. 3-1 pitch. High, and there's ball 4. Leadoff man aboard here in the fourth. And that's going to bring up Mike Napoli. Napoli struck out in the second. Of course, when you're talking strong right field arms, I guess the one name that comes to mind for me when I was a kid watching baseball was Dwight Evans from right field. Had an absolute cannon from that position.
Mr. Tiger was pretty good too, wasn't he?
Kaline absolutely had a really good arm. The 1-0. Swing and a miss.
Napoli not thinking about hitting no singles these days.
Yeah, why would he? All the home runs he's hitting.
Every swing he takes, he is trying to hit it out.
That's a foul ball. Third base side. 1-2.
Last time he struck Napoli out, it was a fastball that was up at 92 miles an hour. He can go a couple of different ways. He can go changeup, soft, down and away, or breaking ball, or simply elevate the fastball. But if you go fastball, you better get it up.
Swing and a miss. Smiley now starting to pile up the strikeouts.
Smiley looks good today. Not in awe of this Texas Rangers team, the best offense right now as we speak on the planet. 1 year of professional baseball under his belt. He is pitching with a lot of confidence today.
It's his 5th strikeout. Smiley pitched his college ball at Arkansas. He also saw action with Team USA during the Pan American Games after last season.
That kind of put him on the map. 17 strikeouts in 17 innings, a 2-0 record, and didn't get scored upon.
And of course, he had to withstand that fierce competition this spring in Lakeland to win that 5 spot in the rotation. And with such little professional experience, the Tigers really didn't know totally what to expect when he got to this level, but so far he's shown a lot of poise and maturity and results, which is the main thing. Torrealba fouls it off 0-1. 5 strikeouts, now a season high. Smiley struck out 4 in each of his first 2 starts. That one missed. Smiley, part of that 2010 draft, and a few pitchers have made it to the big leagues out of that draft. Drew Pomerantz, Addison Reed, we just saw him with the Chicago White Sox. Chris Sale was part of that draft. Runner goes. Here comes the throw down to second, and plenty of time. They were waiting with the tag.
Alex Avila got a pretty good ball to throw right there. It was a fastball up, and Cruz didn't get a good jump from first base, and he threw it right on the bag, and Santiago able to apply the tag.
That's fouled away. It's the second runner that Avila has thrown out so far this year. Two and two on your Torrealba with the bases empty now and 2 outs. Fouled away. Ron Washington has done a terrific job the last 2 years of getting his team to the World Series. Yet he has not won a Manager of the Year award. Here's a bouncing ball to second. A bit of a funny hop for Santiago, but he stayed with it. Inning over. No runs, a walk, nobody left. Smiley looking good today. And you will have you coming back for more without emptying your wallet. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Back here at Comerica Park on a chilly and cloudy afternoon at the ballpark. Tigers and Rangers wrapping up a 4-game series. It's a 1-1 game as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. And Colby Lewis back to work. He is facing Prince Fielder. Fielder, Young, and Avila in the Tigers' 4th. Each team 4 hits, neither team with an error. Tigers scored their run on a wild pitch. Prince hits one hard to right field. Cruz will get back there to the edge of the warning track.
A lot of baseball to be played yet in this contest, but how nice would it be to get a split from these Texas Rangers the way that they came into Comerica Park? Hot as a firecracker.
Just be nice to get them out of town.
You tired of looking at them?
I'm tired of looking at them. I'm tired of looking at this lineup. How are we going to get this guy out? I think you would agree, wouldn't you?
Oh, no question about that.
Here's Delman Young. And Delman lines one to left field, sinking, caught on the run by Josh Hamilton.
Well, Lewis not missing a whole lot of bats. A couple of balls hit right on the button in this inning. Hey fans, join us tonight when the Pistons host the Raptors right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Coverage starts at 5:30. The Pistons live, followed by the game at 6. That's tonight for more Pistons basketball here on Fox Sports Detroit.
2 quick outs, and that'll bring up Alex Avila, who singled in his first at bat back in the 2nd inning. Alex at 263. .61 pitches now for Lewis. Meanwhile, Smiley has used 72 pitches to get through 4 frames. That's in there, a strike. 0-2. Lewis continues to pitch to contact. He hasn't walked anybody in this game. He's walked only 1 all season. That's way inside. It gets by Torrealba, and they have nicked him as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Tigers came into this game hitting 170 in this series against Texas pitching. Yet, as you mentioned, they have a chance for a split with a win here today. They found a way to hold on to last night's game. Breaking ball just off the plate outside. 2-2. He went right back out there with the same pitch and missed again. 3-2 on Avila. Ground ball back up the middle. Kinsler on the backhand. And a 1-2-3 inning for Colby Lewis. 4 in the books here at Comerica. Let's go to the 5th. Game in light of Philip Humber's perfect game yesterday. What was the most memorable perfect game in Major League history? Was it A, Don Larson, B, Sandy Koufax, C, Randy Johnson, or D, the Armando Galarraga, well, quote, perfect game? And we'll give you a little bit more details on these perfect games. Of course, Don Larson, Game 5 of the '56 World Series, was a perfect game. The only one thrown in World Series history. Sandy Koufax had 14 strikeouts. The most in a perfect game back in '65. Randy Johnson was 40 years old when he threw one. And of course, we all know what happened to Armando Galarraga in June of 2010. So you can text your vote. Text ACE followed by a space, then the letter answer to 37338.
Good question today.
Really good question, and I'll be interested to see who wins this poll. Drew Smiley back to work. He is facing Alberto Gonzalez and then Craig Gentry and Ian Kinsler in their first strike 0-1. Got any thoughts on how you would vote on that?
I would go D.
Galarraga. There's a strike call.
For personal reasons.
Yeah, we were there, and it certainly is memorable to us. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That was an ugly swing. One gone. Here is that Galarraga flashback in 2010. Remember this? Held him safe.
And you can see Jim Joyce at first base. He was getting ready to call him out, too.
And the famous facial expression of Armando Galarraga, the look of disbelief. Gentry showing bunt.
I'll never forget that next day. I was down on the field and I was coming up to the booth about an hour for the game, and I saw Jim Joyce walking in, going to the umpire's room, and it looked like he had been crying all night long, and he gave me a big hug, and tears started to come out of his eyes.
There's a high fly to shallow center, and Jackson coming over to make the play.
That was a very emotional evening for Jim Joyce.
2 gone now for Ian Kinsler. It's an evening that I'm sure he will never, ever forget. Nor the reaction of the Tigers fans the very next day, which turned out to be a positive.
That was special.
The one thing I remember about that incident is they told Joyce after that game, you know what, you're scheduled to call balls and strikes tomorrow. Why don't we just take you off of that duty? And he said, no, I want to go out there and do it. And you know he wasn't working on any sleep at all.
Also, after he went to the umpire's room and watched it and realized that he made a wrong call, he went directly to the Tigers clubhouse to apologize to Armando Galarraga.
2 balls and no strikes on Ian Kinsler, batting with 2 outs here in the 5th. By the way, that last fly out by Gentry is the first fly ball out in this game against Smiley. Drew has struck out 6. Everything else on the ground. And there's ball 4. Smiley with a 2-out base on balls. Second walk of the game for Drew. That keeps the inning going for Elvis Andrus. Strikeout, ground out for Andrus. Snap throw behind the runner, and back in there easily is Kinsler.
We don't see Avila do that very often. Not many snap throws behind the runner to first base by Avila in the 3 years he's spent in the big leagues.
Trying to remember. I don't remember him doing it at all, really. I'm sure he had in the past at some point, but I don't remember a throw at first.
Maybe he's enticing Kinsler into trying to steal second base, knowing that Smiley is going to give him an opportunity to throw. I know Pudge Rodriguez used to do that on purpose. Speaking of Pudge Rodriguez, you heard a couple days ago that he is retiring from Major League Baseball, and he's going to retire as a Texas Ranger, the team that he came up with and spent so many years with.
And another toss. Yeah, in fact, he's throwing out the first pitch of tomorrow's game. The Rangers return home to Texas, and they will play the Yankees, and Pudge will throw out the first pitch, and Michael Young will catch the first pitch of the game.
So when Pudge goes into the Hall of Fame, he will have a Rangers cap on.
Here's the 1-0. I think the Hall of Fame still has jurisdiction on what cap and what jersey you will wear into the Hall of Fame. But certainly when you look at his body of work, and he did great things here in Detroit, I certainly think he probably has to go in as a Ranger.
Oh, for sure. I think this visit by Jones out to the mound is one of which to tell Smiley, and I don't know for sure, but Kinsler runs a lot. He's a base stealer by trade, and it appears that Smiley may be paying too much attention to Kinsler, and therefore he is falling behind Andrews, and you don't want to walk Andrews here, not with Josh Hamilton coming up next.
He's gotten Andrews twice, but he has fallen behind 2-0. 83 pitches now for Smiley here in the fifth. 83 total, obviously. 54 of those strikes. And there's a strike on the outer edge.
I said that Pudge Rodriguez will retire a Texas Ranger, but what I meant to say was exactly what you said. He's going to throw out the first pitch at a ball game. And obviously, he probably will wear their hat when he goes to the Hall of Fame.
The 2-1 runner goes, and it's line foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Is he the best catcher you've ever seen?
Me, personally, yes.
I mean, it's hard to argue, and we got a chance to see him for a couple of years here in Detroit.
But if you talk to some other people that probably were born before us, they will tell you Johnny Bench is the best catcher they've ever seen.
13 Gold Gloves for Pudge. 21-year career, and it's in some ways a little surprising to me. I thought he would try and get to 3,000. There's a ground ball slowly hit towards short. Peralta shovel for the out, inning over. No runs, a walk, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Well, time now for the AT&T trivia question. What pitcher has allowed the most home runs to the Tigers all time? Which pitcher has given up the most long balls all time to the Tigers? That's your question. Answer coming up after you have a chance to think about that for a bit. Meanwhile, Johnny Peralta will stand in to lead things off in the bottom of the 5th. Tigers a run on 4 hits and Texas a run on 4 hits. Peralta loops one foul, 0-1. Johnny, then Kelly, and then Santiago 7, 8, 9 facing the right-hander Colby Lewis. 280 batting average for Peralta, who is second in the American League with 7 doubles. High towering fly ball left center. Gentry, one gone.
Hey fans, come to Comerica Park April 30th through May 2nd when the Tigers take on their division rivals, the Kansas City Royals. Tickets are on sale now. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Kansas City Royals, we brought it up last night. They have lost 9 games in a row.
Well, I think their young players have gotten off to a slow start, and even a couple of their veterans collectively, and it really hasn't helped them. They are 3-11 after starting 3-2. Tigers lead the way in the Central at 10-5. Bouncing ball right side. Scooping there is Napoli. 2 up, 2 down. Tigers at 10-5. Cleveland at 8-5. Chicago at 8-6. Of the teams that you see listed under Detroit, which one would you go for as the ones that will give the Tigers the biggest threat this year?
Well, probably Chicago.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
For me.
I mean, I know Cleveland got off to the nice start last year. They kind of faded, but Chicago still scares me, especially with Peavy pitching like he is.
Adam Dunn's hitting this year, too.
Yeah, he's waking up. 1 strike on Santiago.
They got some good young arms in their bullpen.
Little soft liner caught on a leap by Andrews. Climbing the ladder, Elvis holds it in.
continued that the first couple of games of the series, but Valverde slowed him down with off-speed pitches. Smiley today went away from him with a first pitch fastball earlier in the game, but then elevated one right down the middle, and Hamilton was waiting for him.
And so it'll be Hamilton to start things off in the 6th inning against Drew Smiley. We are tied up at 1 run apiece, each team 4 hits. Hamilton, Young, and Cruz.
That's what good hitters do. You can throw them as many breaking balls as you want to, and they can look as bad as he looked on some of those swings from Valverde and Verlander yesterday. But if you get a fastball too close,
there's a base hit to right field.
He will hurt you.
Hamilton 3 for 3. 5 hits now for Texas.
It's a contract year for Josh Hamilton. He is a free agent after this year and one of the best offensive performers in the game.
Now Michael Young. Single, and he hit into a force. He's back in the 3rd. Ball 1 as Avila keeps it to his side, and that'll hold the runner. Young extending his hitting streak in his very first at bat to 10 straight as you look at the high and low on Drew Smiley. We've seen Drew at 93, 94 this year. He's at 93, topping out today. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1 the count.
If Ron Washington wants to put a runner in motion, here's a pretty good count to do it in.
Yes, there he goes. Bouncing ball hit to the right side. Santiago has to backtrack.
And by putting that runner in motion, they stayed out of the double play.
And Young almost found another hole and got that thing through the infield.
It's a hit and run. Ron Washington very aggressive. He can kind of see how this game is going, and it looked like Michael Young was trying to hit the ball into the vacated hole momentarily by Santiago. Santiago was going over to cover the bag.
And I can imagine if you're Ron Washington, you feel pretty comfortable about putting a hit and run on with Michael Young up there.
That's right. Don't let Hamilton steal 3rd.
Cruz takes ball 1 as it bounces in. Nelson had one of the 2 walks that Smiley has issued. He's at 93 pitches right now in the 6th. Tipped into the glove. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tiger bullpen is working. There is Thad Weber, who was called up yesterday from AAA Toledo with Daniel Schlereth going down. The Lincoln, Nebraska native, Thad Weber.
Weber wasn't in spring training this year, not major league spring training, but he did have an outing after he was called over from the minor league side, and he opened up some eyes.
That ball gets away from Smiley, and now Hamilton's going to break. Here comes the throw, and he's in there. Oh, my goodness. Tigers fell asleep once that ball got away from Smiley. And Hamilton just took off with a headfirst dive. Smiley kind of jogged after it, and the ball was in no man's land.
Well, Hamilton took a look back to Peralta to see where Peralta was after the ball got over the head of Smiley. He saw where Peralta was. Peralta had his head down.
Fouled straight back.
Johnny wasn't looking, and that's why. Hamilton was able to get over to third base.
Avila charged with the air, allowing the runner to get the third. Got him, strike three. That's a big one for Smiley. Two gone. And Cruz is going to stand at home plate in protest.
Nice job there by Drew Smiley, not allowing the air to affect his concentration. Comes back and throws a really good fastball inside. I am really impressed with the fact that he has pitched as aggressively inside this afternoon as he has against this offense.
Here is Mike Napoli now. Infield pushes back with 2 outs. Napoli cuts and misses. Smiley has punched him out twice. 2 of the 7 that Drew has racked up today. A little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 8 groundouts, 7 strikeouts, and only 1 out recorded in the air. That was the fly ball by Gentry. That's in the air. Left center field. Jackson cruising over. And crisis averted. The Smiley pitches around the air. We go to the bottom of the 6th. And here's that AT&T trivia question again here this afternoon. What pitcher has allowed the most home runs to the Tigers all time? Well, it's not Colby Lewis, it's Pedro Ramos. 50 home runs from 1955 to 1966. Would you have guessed Pedro Ramos?
Had no shot.
Not sure who he is. There's a high fly ball. Deep center field. Gentry going back. Warning track to run it down.
Wow. Jackson. That ball 415 feet from home plate.
That it is. of the home runs that Mr. Ramos allowed all time. 8 of those were hit by Mr. Tiger, Al Kaline. Rocky Colavito, Charlie Maxwell on that list, Frank Boland. What made you think today on the trivia? Here's Bosch. He is 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts. Breaking ball from Lewis, missing high, 2-0. Brennan now 1 for 13 in this series. Octavio Dotel heating up in the Detroit bullpen. It was Dotel, Benoit, and Valverde, 7, 8, 9 last night. There's a drive. We are tied no longer. Boy, did Bosch need that one. Line drive missile halfway up into the seats and right.
Kobe Lewis threw Bosch an 81-mile-per-hour changeup, and it was down, it was in. Left-handers love the ball in that area, and he smashed it.
There's another high drive into deep left center field. Gentry gets back to the warning track for this one. And Cabrera just missed one, picked the wrong part of the park. That's 3 fly balls in this inning that have been hit about a mile. Bosch's 3rd career home run against Colby Lewis. And his 2nd home run this year overall. Let's see what Fielder does with 2 outs. Prince hits a ground ball foul first base side.
Prince has gotten a steady diet of those really slow curveballs from Kobe Lewis. That last offering was just 74 miles an hour.
Back with that 88-mile-an-hour fastball that missed high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It looked about 100 miles an hour.
Drilled to center field. That's a base hit. Fielder 1 for 3 today. That'll give Delman Young an opportunity. Tigers lead it 2-1 in the home run by Brennan Bosch. Delman to pop up in a lineout. Ball outside, 1-0. Delman didn't like that call. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Another quick pitch there by Kobe Lewis with Prince Fielder on first. Although Prince does have 1 steal this year. He's not going anywhere.
1-2. Tigers have 6 hits here this afternoon. They got their first run on a wild pitch with 2 outs and a man at third. Looked like Lewis would strand the leadoff triple. That was Santiago in the 3rd inning. There's a ground ball. Andrews to his knees. His throw is going to be late. He bobbled it. That cost him.
I don't know how they're going to rule that, but it may be Elvis's first error of the year. We'll see. He had plenty of time. He's quick. He got over there, the ball in his glove, and when he was trying to make the exchange to the throwing hand, he couldn't corral it, and therefore, good hustle by Prince getting to second base.
inning is still alive. Base hit.
Oh, happy birthday.
So apparently you disagree with that call.
You don't?
Yes, I do.
I'm going to take it, though.
He will take it. Avila now with 2 on. Breaking ball outside, 1-0.
Kobe Lewis has not given up a hit this year when runners have been in scoring position. The opposition is 0 for 18 against Lewis.
Whoa.
Tigers 0 for 5 today.
So now it's 2-0 on Alex Avila. Elvis Andrus was spared his first error of the year. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Lifted in the air toward left field. Hit well. But Hamilton will go to the warning track. And that is that. Tigers make a lot of noise. They settle for 1 run, though, on the home run by Brennan Bosch. He hit it into the right field seats. We are tied no longer. 2-1 Detroit.
Tigers up by 1 run. As you can see here at Comerica Park, everybody having a great time, and everybody has a special memory of a Tigers game. If you have one and you want me to interview you at an upcoming game, you can go online, foxsportsdetroit.com, and you can click on the Tigers page. Then look for the link that says Tigers Tales. Send me an email. Let me know what game you're coming to, where you're going to be sitting, and I just might interview you at an upcoming Tigers game. Mario and Rod, I'll send it back to you. As you can tell, even though it's a day game, everybody having a good time here at Comerica Park.
Yeah, we're going to use the word festive, that's for sure. There's a bouncer back up the middle as Peralta ranges left and throws him out. Torrealba is gone, 1 away.
Did you see that Texas Rangers fan out there?
No, I didn't.
It's the 7th inning. They may have to cut him off.
By the way, we've got a new pitcher and a Wallside Windows pitching change.
Dotel, he's been real good so far this year for his new ball club. 6th game now that he has been in. He has not been scored upon. The opponents are hitting .211 against Dotel.
That's a strike called on Gonzalez. Gonzalez a double and a strikeout. So Smiley threw 100 pitches even in his 6 innings of work. That's fouled back out of play, and yet again he does a nice job. His 3rd start. Smiley hands it over to the bullpen now. Slim lead, 2-1 Tigers on the home run by Bosch. Slice to center field. There's Jackson. 2 gone. Murphy now is going to pinch hit for Gentry.
Phil Coke getting ready too, just in case Jim Leland wants to go out and get Dotel to pitch against Murphy.
Coke was up a couple of times in the nightcap last night. Murphy in this series 3 for 7, couple of RBIs. And a pinch hitting role here. First pinch hitting role of the season for Murphy. Popped up foul back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Scott Feldman, Mark Lowe, meanwhile, tune up in the Texas bullpen. Ball high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Way outside, and the count goes to 3-1. Tigers today have out hit the Rangers 7-5, but runs have been tough to come by for both clubs. Rangers got 1 in the first and the home run by Hamilton. Tigers tied it up, scoring on a wild pitch, and then Bosch homered in the 6th. Dotel reaching his 700th career appearance last night. The 3-1 pitch. It makes 2 years in a row now that Dave Dombrowski at the end of the season has gone out and found a key piece of the bullpen. He got Benoit last year to pitch the 8th. He's gone out and gotten Dotel to pitch the 7th this past offseason. And the 3-2. Sailed way outside. Murphy a pinch hit walk. Up to the top of the lineup now, Ian Kinsler. Kinsler is 0 for 2. He walked his last time up. Way outside. 1-0 on Kinsler. The 5-year extension that he signed will keep him in a Tex uniform through 2017 at least. The club has an option for 2018, and for the time being, he is the highest paid second baseman. Runner goes. Here comes the throw from Vila on the money. Out. The second base runner that Avila has thrown out.
He is so good and so accurate with that arm down to second base.
Perfect form, and Murphy is gone. price period. Bell Tire. And by Toyota, brought to you by your Greater Detroit Toyota dealers.
Hey fans, you want to join us again on Tuesday for more baseball when the Tigers host the Mariners. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Tigers Live on Fox Sports Detroit. That's Tigers baseball, Tuesday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Detroit.
A couple of changes for the Texas Rangers with the pinch hitting role that Murphy had in the top of this inning. Murphy will stay in the game and he'll play left field, which will move Josh Hamilton from left to center field, replacing the departed Craig Gentry. So the Tigers bring a one-run lead to the bottom of the 7th inning, trying to get a split here in this series against the Rangers. They dropped the first 2 games, won the nightcap of the doubleheader last night, and lead here today. Hey, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Ed Mosch right now providing the go-ahead run for Detroit. The difference in this 2-1 game, his home run to right field. Bottom 3 coming up for the Tigers here against Colby Lewis in the 7th. Lewis has thrown 89 pitches, and he will face Peralta, Kelly, and Santiago. For 2 for Johnny. A fly to right, a fly to center. And Lewis delivers strike 1. Low, ball 1. Texas will depart after this game. Seattle coming to town. Tigers have an off day tomorrow. There's a ground ball foul. 1-2.
And because the Tigers have that built-in day off tomorrow, Benoit is warming up to pitch the 8th, even though he threw at least 30 pitches in his outing last night.
Ground ball, third base side, waiting on the hop. Gonzalez. He'll get him by a couple of steps. 1 gone. Bring up Don Kelly. Kelly with an 0 for 2 today. Spelling Prince Fielder at first base. Prince the DH this afternoon. Jim Leland wanted to go into the final 2 games, giving Cabrera and Prince each a chance to DH. The 0-1. Lifted in the air toward left. Straight at Murphy. 2 up, 2 down. So Colby Lewis, even though he's not very overpowering, continues to get outs.
He pitches well. Keeps the ball out in the middle of the plate. Real good command with that 88-mile-per-hour fastball. Slow curveball, cutter. Doesn't walk anybody.
Here's Santiago. He should have 2 hits in this game, but he was robbed in his last at bat on a leaping catch by Elvis Andrus. Santiago tripled, scored a run in the 3rd. Lewis with the 1-0 pitch. High, 2 balls, no strikes. Popped up, shallow left. Andrus going back, calling everybody off. And it's a quick 1-2-3 7th inning for Colby Lewis. Let's go to the 8th. kind of flash back to yesterday. How about the job rather Dwayne Belo did out of the bullpen in game 1?
6 innings he pitched yesterday after Porcello had to leave the game, and he really saved that bullpen in that outing, and which made that bullpen fresh for the nightcap.
Longest scoreless relief outing since '96 for the Tigers. So Belo, nice work. Not available today or probably until Tuesday, according to Jim Leland.
Benoit, he threw 33 pitches in the 8th inning that he pitched last night against the Texas Rangers.
And he'll go back to work here in the 8th inning today, facing the top of the Texas lineup, Ian Kinsler, who looks at ball 1. 2 runs, 7 hits for Detroit, a run on 5 hits for Texas. Yeah, a lot of pitches thrown by the back end of the Tigers' pen last night, both Benoit and Valverde. But in the end, they got it done. 8th appearance for Benoit. Grounded foul. It's hard to hold this Texas team down, and so far the Tigers, Smiley and Dotel, have limited them to just 5 hits. And their only run came way back in the first when Hamilton hit a 2-out solo shot. Two and one.
Stellar performance this afternoon by the rookie Drew Smiley.
He was good. 6 innings. Struck out 7. Career high. Missed it away, and now it's 3-1.
You do not want to walk Kinsler.
Tiger pitching with 3 walks this afternoon. There's a strike. 3-2.
Something about those leadoff walks late in games.
Squibber hit towards second base. Santiago is over there. He got him by a step, 1 gone. So after falling behind, Benoit comes back to get the out. Here's Elvis Andrus. They kept him quiet today, 0 for 3. And he takes strike 1.
Jim really has Cabrera hugging that line over at third base, even though Andrus is not a dead pull hitter. You don't want any doubles down in that left field corner.
Showing bunt. He drops 1 down, and they'll let it roll foul.
Remember that play just a couple of days ago in Kansas City when Valverde was on the mound, 1st and 2nd, and Jim moved Cabrera over toward the line with Escobar batting the shortstop for the Kansas City Royals, and he hit it right to Cabrera. Cabrera tagged the bag, threw to first to get the double play to end the game.
Yeah, ball game over.
Jim said that he moved Cabrera right before that pitch.
And he moved him right into the final play of the game. Tigers sweeping Kansas City. Cabrera's still hugging the line, but he backs up at third now with 2 strikes on the hitter. Elvis Andrus. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off.
Here's that play in Kansas City, with Escobar hitting in a fastball count. Jim had a feeling that he would be pulling something down toward third base, and Cabrera was right there. If Jim doesn't move Cabrera, that's a double in the left field corner, and both of those runs would have scored, and the Tigers would have lost that game.
And you wonder how managers affect games. That's a really good example of how they can. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Slings it outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Andrus batting here in the 8th inning with 1 out in a 1-run game. 2-1 Detroit. Hamilton will be next. Thought about it, but couldn't pull the trigger, and now it's 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. He'll get back out of play. There aren't too many Elvises floating around at the major leagues. Elvis Andrus comes from a family of 4 kids, and all 4 of them have a first name that begins with the letter E. Three and two. It's the 8th pitch coming up in this at bat. Ball high, and he lost him. So Andrus is the tying run now.
Well, Jim's got a decision to make. He's got Phil Koch hot in that Tigers bullpen, and you have Josh Hamilton coming to the dish.
He wants the lefty. You can put a plan in place, but sometimes you have to deviate from that plan, and Benoit will come out here in the 8th inning. And they will bring the lefty Phil Koch out of the bullpen to face the lefty Josh Hamilton. So with a pitching change here in Detroit, we'll be right back.
Drew Smyly's afternoon. He was a starting pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. A bell tire pitch by pitch. He had a real good changeup away from the righties. He had that back foot breaking ball on the right-hander's back foot. And he threw some fastballs right by some of these Texas Rangers, pitched inside. What an outing today for Drew Smyly.
7 punch-outs for Smyly, and now Phil Koch comes out of the pen to face Josh Hamilton. And the first pitch is inside, 1-0.
Phil Koch has held the left-handed batters to a .200 batting average so far this year.
Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strikeout, Hamilton.
He may want to get that breaking ball away from Hamilton and down. You don't want to hang a breaking ball inside to Hamilton. Not the way the wind's blowing to right field today. Really, the wind has been blowing at a really crisp pace this entire series out to right field. There you go.
Runner trying to get to second base and throws high into center field. Andrus on his way to third. Throw there. Not in time. And the Rangers now have put the tying run at third base.
That's going to be the second error of the game for Avila. Nice job of base running by Andrus at first. As soon as he sees that breaking ball go down in the dirt, he takes off for second base. Avila rushes his throw and airmails Johnny Peralta, and that allows Andrus to get up and get to third.
Boy, Andrus wasted little time in getting up. And now the tying run is at third base. Wild pitch, E2. High fly ball. Right field.
Gonna be a play.
Runner tags up. Catch is made. And the throw is way off line from Bosch. And we are tied at 2.
Just like that.
Hamilton gets it done. That's his 16th RBI. 1 day after striking out 4 times in the nightcap last night, he has 3 hits, a homer, and 2 RBIs. Base is empty now, and Michael Young stands in. He looks at ball 1 outside. Young today 1 for 3, 10-game hitting streak for the Texas designated hitter. 1-1.
That one hurt right there.
The wild pitch really didn't get that far away from Avila, and then the resulting throwing error. I mean, it's probably hurt the Tigers as much as Santiago scoring at a wild pitch with 2 outs after tripling earlier in the game, and how that hurt Colby Lewis. These 2 teams scratching out their runs in this game. Now the 2-1. It's outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Cruz would be next. Benoit started the inning and walked Andrus with 1 out. Fouled away. 3-2 on Michael Young. Tigers are going to have the top of their lineup up when we get to the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the 3-2. He walked him. Young is aboard for the second time, second walk in this inning for Tigers pitcher. And that's 5 base on balls now for the Tigers staff today. Here's Nelson Cruz. Ball 1 to Cruz. Couple of strikeouts today for Cruz and a base on balls. Smiley's going to have to wait another day to get his first big league win. Rangers have tied it up with a run here in the 8th inning. 2-2 ball game. Now the 2-0. Fouled away. 2 balls, 1 strike on Nelson Cruz. Young walking with 2 outs. He's the go-ahead run at first base, held there by Kelly. There's a liner on one hop, fielded there by Santiago, and that is that for Texas. They will settle for 1. You're watching Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire. Brand new ball game here as we take a look at our Comerica game summary. Tied at 2. Josh Hamilton 3 for 3 with a solo homer. And Brennan Bosch, his 3rd career home run off Colby Lewis, gave the Tigers a brief lead. Drew Smiley with 6 innings and 7 punch outs. He also got 8 ground ball outs. And so we go to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 2. Austin Jackson will lead things off. Top of the order, facing Alexi Ogando. The new pitcher is in now for Texas.
Well, the Tigers are going to have their work cut out for them. Ogando last year as a starter against the Tigers was very good. And, of course, he was brilliant in the bullpen for Ron Washington in the postseason against Detroit.
What a weapon that Ogando has been for them. Pitching late in games this year, and they'll come in a tie game here. He was originally the A's organization, was a light hitting outfielder. When the Rangers got him in the Rule 5 draft and put him on the mound, and the rest is history. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Ogando's got a really good firm fastball. He can get up to 98 miles an hour. And he's got that wipeout slider. Legitimate swing and miss pitch for Alexi. Made the All-Star team last year as a starting pitcher.
Made 29 starts in 31 appearances. Fouled away. 1-2 the count stays.
And then toward the end of the year, because he had reached the inning plateau that they had set for him, they simply moved him to the bullpen, and he made that adjustment rather nicely.
Jackson stays alive. 1-2. Ogando last year made 13 appearances in postseason. That's how much they used him once the playoffs started. Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Some of the numbers that Ogando posted against Tigers batters last year.
.29 ERA. There's a fly ball hit in the air to center. Josh Hamilton has a lot of room out there. Too much room for that fly ball. 1 gone. He's going to bring up Bosch. He broke a 1-1 tie with a solo shot back in the 6th. Just his 2nd home run of this young season. Bosch now with 7 RBIs. And Ogando delivers a strike. 0-1.
You know, you have a tremendous amount of depth to your big league roster when you can take a guy like Ogando, who was really good as a starter last year, and move him back to the bullpen to pitch on most nights the 7th inning for your club. Here's that big fly by Bosch in the 6th inning against the starter Colby Lewis.
Ogando won 13 games last year. Missed way outside. 1-2. Saw Neftali Feliz last night in the 2nd game of the doubleheader. He is in the rotation this year after closing the last 2 years. And Ogando in the bullpen these days. When he was with the Athletics, it wasn't like he was a terrible hitting outfield. I mean, he hit .259 career, hit a few home runs. He hit 7 one season. But the arm caught the eye of the Rangers, and they decided to make the transition to the mound, and it has certainly worked out. Here's the 2-2. Fouled straight back. Cabrera will be next. Tigers got a run in the third and one in the sixth. They've had 7 hits today.
Probably some scout that was probably watching pregame infield when Ogando was an outfielder of the Texas Rangers when he was playing in the minor league with Oakland, and noticed the strong throwing arm.
And down goes Bosch.
There's that wipeout slider. Hey fans, you can follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at Bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Tigers.com for more details.
So with 2 outs, that'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. Ball 1 outside to Miguel. Single and 3 at bats in this one. He was at the plate with 2 outs and a man at third back in the 3rd inning, and the wild pitch was uncorked, giving the Tigers their first run. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Five for 9 against Ogando. So the numbers are on Cabrera's side in this matchup. Here's the 1-1. We'll get back out of play. 1-2. Lewis started this game and went 7 innings, 7 strong innings for Texas, giving way to Ogando here in the 8th. In fact, both starters were outstanding today. Checked it, and he did not go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fielder would be next if Cabrera keeps it going. Got him, strike 3. Ogando strikes out 2 in the inning. Cabrera didn't like the call, but he's out. We've had 8 in the books now. We go to the 9th. The top of the ninth inning here at the ballpark, and we are knotted at 2 runs apiece. And Phil Koch will go back to the mound. Didn't this happen in last night's game?
Yeah.
You might want to start your run out to the bullpen a little bit earlier next time. All right, we're ready to play baseball now. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Tigers. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Rangers. And it'll be Mike Napoli, Yorjevit Torrealba, and then Alberto Gonzalez facing the lefty Phil Koch. First pitch is low and away, 1-0. Napoli is 0 for 3. Tough game today. He's struck out twice. Those 3 at bats, though, against the starter Drew Smiley. Now the 1-0. And that's outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Strikeouts kind of go hand in hand with big, strong, physical guys like Napoli that have the ability to hit the ball in the seats. Streaky.
Pulls this one to left field. Had a wide open left side of the infield as Cabrera was watching the line. Leadoff single.
Napoli hadn't gotten many singles this year, and most of his hits have been homers.
Go ahead runner is aboard, and Torrealba strolls in. 6 Texas hits on the game.
Well, the bunt is in order. I don't know exactly how Ron Washington will play it, but it is definitely a bunting situation for Torrealba.
And he bunts. Foul. 0-1 on Torrealba. Napoli back to first.
This is what you were talking about a few days ago when we were in Kansas City, where your bat needs to be when you're bunting the baseball. If your bat is behind home plate, we'll see if we can give you another look of it. You're usually going to bunt that ball foul. If your bat is out in front of home plate, you got a pretty good chance of bunting that ball in fair territory.
Seems like a pretty simple thing. Torrealba gets that bat out there now with Napoli at first base in a bluff. 2-2 game in the ninth inning. Leadoff single by Napoli. Ron Washington's team has won 12 of their first 15, trying to take 3 out of 4 from the Tigers. And again, the bunt attempt, and he lays this one in fair territory. Only 1 play for Koch. Sacrifice advances the runner. Second time was a charm for Torrealba.
He got set this time, and you can see where the bat is. It is out in front of home plate, and he deadens it perfectly to get the ball down.
Now the go-ahead run at second. Alberto Gonzalez. The newest Tiger, Thad Weber, is warming up in the Detroit bullpen. He was up in the game late last night as well, after joining the team from AAA Toledo. Gonzalez in this game, a double in 3 at bats. Strike call. Gonzalez made the team as a non-roster invitee by the Rangers in spring camp, and he broke camp with the big club. Swing and a miss, and he's down to the count 0-2.
Good slider there by Koch at 77 miles an hour. A really good pitch.
swing and a miss. Down he goes. Coke takes care of him with little trouble. 2 outs.
One more big out to get after throwing a couple of really good sliders down and into Gonzalez to get him to swing over the top of them. That is a good 2-strike pitch.
If I could have your attention, please. Now, shooting for
So Brandon Snyder will pinch hit now for David Murphy. That go-ahead run remains at second base. Jeff Jones going to make his way out.
And Jones just wants to make sure that Phil Coke and Avila are refreshed on the scouting report that was given to them on Snyder before the series started.
And as they talk about how they will attack Mr. Snyder, we will talk about the Tigers' next game. That'll be Tuesday, presented by Gordon Chevrolet. Jason Vargas, who has a good ERA again this year for the Mariners, facing Max Scherzer.
I've been impressed with Vargas the last couple of times that we have seen him when the Tigers have played the Seattle Mariners.
Very few people talk about him.
It was like Doug Fister.
True.
Fister had really good ERAs against the Tigers. A good ERA, I should say, before they acquired him.
Snyder takes a ball outside.
You think in this situation right here with the right-hander being up and Weber looking to make his major league debut, maybe a little bit too much pressure for him?
I think so. I think Jim certainly thought about it, but he probably prefers this matchup here. Snyder, a cup of coffee in the major leagues with the Orioles each of the last 2 years. Swing and a miss. 1-1. To bring in a guy to make his major league debut with the go-ahead run at second in the 9th, maybe a little bit too much. So Weber continues to throw in the bullpen.
You know his heart is racing about 100 miles a minute right now.
That's cued foul, and now the count is 1-2. Rangers got a leadoff single from Napoli. He was sacrificed to second. And the crowd getting into it, trying to help Coke. 36,255 in attendance today. Another big crowd here at the ballpark. And they're coming to their feet. The 1-2. Stays alive. So Napoli will head back to second. Tigers, by the way, when we get to the bottom of the 9th, will have Fielder leading it off. Bullpen just watching the action now for the Rangers. Driven foul down the right field line.
That bullpen for Ron Washington, at least the back end of that bullpen, is fresh. Ogando pitched the 8th and very easily could go back and pitch the 9th. They have Mike Adams, number 37, who is heating up, and they also have Joe Nathan. We have not seen either of those players in the first 3 games of the series.
They are loaded at the back end of their pen. 1-2. Ground ball hit to short. And Snyder is out. Inning is over. They get a leadoff single to second, but no farther than that. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire.
tied this game in the 8th inning. It was a walk to Andrews after 1 out, and then it was a wild pitch by Koch, an errant throw into center field by Alex Avila, and then a breaking ball up in the strike zone with Hamilton up that was hit to right field that Andrews was able to score on.
And so now they go back to the bullpen, and Mike Adams will come out for the Texas Rangers.
He is usually the 8th inning guy for Ron Washington. They got him last year at the trade deadline from the San Diego Padres and really bolstered their bullpen for their run all the way to the World Series.
He had some silly numbers in San Diego prior to the trade that brought him to Texas in July. So the Tigers in a tie game will send Prince Fielder to the plate as we head to the bottom of the 9th. These two teams today combined 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Here are the numbers on Mike Adams this year. This will be his 8th appearance. Fielder is 1 for 3. High fly ball, shallow right field. Cruz was so far back he had to charge in for that ball. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here's Delvin Young. Delman had a single back in the 6th inning, his only hit today. Swing and a miss. Adams started his big league career with the Milwaukee Brewers back in 04. And he joined San Diego in 08. Brewers, or I should say the Padres, actually signed him as a minor league free agent. He went on to become a key part of their bullpen. The 0-1. 0-2.
93-mile-per-hour fastball that's up and in against Delman, and he can't catch up to it.
And the 0-2. Foul tip, and he stays alive. Alex Avila waiting his turn on deck. Rangers tied it up with a run in the 8th. 2-2 game. Adams each of the last 2 years has appeared in 70 or more games. The Rangers used him in 27 appearances after they acquired him in the trade last year. Swing and a miss, and Delman Young goes down on strikes. 2 outs here in the 9th.
First 4 pitches of the pitch sequence to Delman, fastballs at 93 miles an hour, and then he backs off to 80 with a really good breaking ball.
One for 3 for Avila. Singled back in the 2nd. Tigers have not had a base runner since the 6th. Nine in a row retired by Texas pitching. 1 ball, no strikes on Avila. Rangers trying to get it to the 10th inning where they would have the top of their lineup. And the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on Avila.
Adams anything but smooth with his delivery. I guess you classify it as a violent delivery, even out of the stretch. Elbows flying, knees flying. Rocking back and forth.
Here's the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Avila. 92 on that last fastball. And a strike call. Make it 2-2. Avila didn't like that call.
It's a well located fastball. Adams, knowing that the wind is blowing out to right field, everything he's pretty much thrown to Avila has been away from Alex. Very difficult pitches to pull back to right field.
Here's the 2-2. Bouncing ball hit to the right side. Kinsler will charge it. And the Tigers go 1-2-3. Adams does his job. Let's go to the 10th. Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. As a matter of fact, Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. And so we have bonus baseball here this afternoon at the ballpark. Ryan Rayburn will check in. He'll play left field in place of Delman Young. A defensive replacement for Jim Leland. Jose Valverde is in now to pitch as well.
Jose Valverde probably good for just 1 inning today after throwing 31 pitches to get the save in last night's game, which was his 4th of the year.
And he's going to have to navigate through the top of the Texas lineup. It'll be Kinsler, Andrews, and then Hamilton. 2-2 game as we go to the 10th. And Valverde ready to go to work. Kinsler has walked in this game. He's 0 for 3 otherwise. First pitch is popped up. Right side and caught by Santiago.
Thank you very much.
That'll bring up Andrews. Valverde will certainly take a one pitch out. Andrews, the key figure back in the 8th. Benoit walked him with 1 out. He advanced the second on a wild pitch to third on a bad throw by Avila and then scored on a sac fly. And that's why we're tied. In there, strike 1. Andrews 0 for 6 in his career against Valverde. Here's a popped up bunt that goes foul.
Not a bad idea by Elvis, but more than likely Cabrera makes that play because Cabrera was playing in at third base, but Andrews still trying to bunt for a base hit. You can see Cabrera starting to creep in, anticipating that Elvis had bunt on his mind.
Valverde ahead of him 0-2. You've got Hamilton waiting on deck. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Peralta to his left. Andrews is out. 2 gone.
Well, Hamilton has done his fair share of damage in this series. And it started with Porcello in the first inning yesterday. It was 3-run variety. And then he got Smiley today with a fastball up in the zone for a solo shot in the first inning as well.
So the moral of the story, be careful here. Hamilton has both RBIs today for Texas. A 3-for-3 day. He's knocked in 17 already this year.
And Valverde struck him out to end the ball game last night with a really good split-fingered fastball that was down and away from Hamilton. His 4th strikeout of the evening. But today a much different story.
Now the 1-0. Big swing by Hamilton. Rangers have had at least one base runner in every inning so far in this game, but they are sitting on a 2-out nobody on situation here.
That's a splitter. It's down and away from Hamilton. You can see he tried to pull that ball and hit it out of the ballpark right off the end of the bat.
Outside, 2-1 Josh Hamilton. Michael Young waiting on deck. Tigers in the bottom of the 10th would have Peralta, Kelly, Santiago scheduled. Now the 2-1 pitch. It's outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the 3-1. Ooh, he had a swing and a big swing. 3-2. So it's full now on Hamilton with 2 outs. Here comes the crowd again. $36,255 on a chilly Sunday afternoon here in the Motor City. Tigers trying to get a split in this series with Texas. And the 3-2. It's outside. He lost him.
Well, the plot starts to thicken here because Josh Hamilton will try to steal second base at some point in time to get into scoring position for Michael Young, who is one of your better clutch hitters in the American League.
And for Michael Young today, single and a walk. Enjoying a 10-game hitting streak.
And if Hamilton does steal second base, I'd walk Young.
You go after Cruz?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you know Young would find a hole. He just would.
He's hitting .410. Puts the ball in play. Drives in big runs.
One on, two out. How about that hack at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball?
Up two around the letters. He almost got on top of it.
Young during this 10-game hitting streak is hitting at a .512 clip. That's how hot he has been. Coming out of the gate swinging this year. Now Valverde will step off.
Valverde on that first delivery to Michael Young, very slow, very deliberate, with his leg kick and his delivery home. It would be really tough for Avila to throw Hamilton out if Hamilton attempts to steal.
That's back out of play. Now it's 0-2. Valverde following Koch, who followed Benoit, who followed Dotel. Tigers have gone deep into their pen in this game. Smiley gave him 6 innings and threw 100 pitches this afternoon. Smiley left with a 2-1 lead, but he'll get a no decision today. Runner goes. It's outside, no throw. Hamilton dives into second and steals the base. And for Josh, that's his first of the year.
Usually 0-2 is not a good count to run in, but Ron Washington, even if Hamilton does get thrown out, you have Michael Young possibly leading off the 11th inning, should the Tigers not score in their half of the 10th inning. I don't know if I mess with Michael Young still, even with 2 strikes.
Even with 2 strikes now? 1-2. Fouled straight back again.
Well,
11 steals now for Texas.
Well, every year Texas is going to be up there in the most stolen bases in baseball. They have that kind of athleticism on their roster. How about the Yankees doing all that running this year?
Where's that coming from?
Gardner's on the DL.
The 1-2. Fouled away again. That time 96 from Valverde. 15 pitches thrown by Jose. He got 2 quick outs. In fact, he got Kinsler on the first pitch of the inning. 2-out walk to Hamilton. He has stolen second base. The 1-2 again. Ground ball back up the middle. Peralta ranging left. And he got it. That's it for the Rangers. They threaten but do not score. Here comes the bottom of the 10th. This year, if you remember Austin Jackson, that was opening day. And then how about Alex Avila?
Easter Sunday, 11th inning, walk-off variety.
And the Tigers would love to have another one here this afternoon in a 2-2 game as we go to the bottom of the 10th. 2 runs, 7 hits Detroit. 2 runs, 6 hits for Texas. For the Rangers, Adams pitches the 9th inning, and now Robbie Ross will take over here in the 10th.
And Robbie Ross, the youngest member of that bullpen out there. 5th game now that he's been in. He has a 2-0 record. 5 strikeouts against 2 walks and 4 in the 3rd innings.
He's got the bottom 3 to deal with. It'll be Peralta, Kelly, and Santiago. Rangers bullpen coming into play today had posted an ERA of 2.43. Peralta hits a ground ball back up the middle, and Kinsler is right there. 1 pitch, 1 out. Brandon Inge has moved to the on-deck circle. Go bat for Kelly. Response for Brandon Inge. So he will bat for Don Kelly. There's a strike 0-1 on Inge. Ross gave up 2 runs on 3 hits in 2/3 of an inning in game 1 in the series. And bounces that one in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brandon takes high, 2-1.
Well, Brandon has worked himself into the count that he desires. A fastball, predictable count.
Low, 3-1.
But Ross didn't give him the fastball there.
Strike on the outer edge. 3-2.
Backdoor breaking ball. Started off the plate and caught the outside corner.
Ground ball right at the third baseman behind the bag. Gonzalez was protecting against the extra base hit. 2 gone. This is why he guards the line.
Yep.
That's a 2-base hit otherwise. Here's Santiago. One ball, one strike on Ramon. Tripled and scored. That was way back in the third. Rangers bullpen has now retired. Actually, Rangers pitching, I should say, is now retired. 12 in a row. Tigers' last hit was the Delman Young single back in the 6th. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's rolled foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two from Ross. Inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jackson waiting on deck. Austin hoping for a shot. The 3-2. High fly ball, center field. Hamilton is there, and the inning is over. Tigers go 1, 2, 3. We go to the 11th. Turkey, feed your wild side. Well, back here at Comerica Park earlier today, Gerald Laird and Tony La Russa got together behind home plate as well. Octavio Dotel to get his championship ring from last year. Nice ceremony before the game today.
And also very special to get that ring from their manager last year, Tony La Russa, who now works in the commissioner's office for Bud Selig.
Rangers couldn't have been too happy watching that.
That was kind of bad, wasn't it?
Here's Thad Weber. He's making his big league debut. It just kind of worked out that way that the Rangers were in town.
Look at his numbers down in Toledo. 15 strikeouts against 2 walks for Weber.
And so his first big league pitch misses high to Nelson Cruz. He's pitching here in the 11th in a 2-2 tie.
That's about his best fastball. I was told by Jeff Jones before the game. 88 to 90. But he throws a lot of strikes and has an outstanding curveball, and he'll probably need that curveball against Nelson Cruz and his dangerous bat.
Here's the 1-1. Got some changes for the Tigers. Cabrera will go to first base. Brandon Inge stays in the game and plays third. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thad Weber hails from Lincoln, Nebraska. Went to the University of Nebraska. And the 1-2. Missed it outside.
There's that curveball. He's thrown back-to-back breaking balls to Cruz.
Here is Weber's 2-2. And it's outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cruz, Napoli, Torrealba here in the 11th inning for Texas. Breaking ball spins inside. Leadoff walk. Go ahead run is aboard now for Texas. Here's Napoli. Way high, 1-0. Napoli's been on base once, 1 for 4, singled to lead off the 9th inning. They got him to second base, couldn't score him. Fouled straight back. The Tigers pitching, by the way, has walked 6 in this game now with the leadoff base on balls here in the 11th. Weber pitched in Toledo parts of each of the last 3 years, including this season. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball grounded left side. That's going to find a whole base hit. Cruz on his way to second base. He'll stop there. The first 2 Rangers have reached.
It's the second base hit of the day for Napoli, right between short and third.
Jim Leyland comes marching out of the dugout. He will be joined by the entire team on the mound right now, at least the entire infield. Valverde pitched the 10th, and now Thad Weber, making his big league debut, gives up a walk and a single here to the Rangers in the 11th.
He had the entire infield on the mound, but the message that he had to deliver was for Weber specifically.
So that'll bring up Torrealba, who sacrificed in the 9th. We'll see if he's up there bunting here in the 11th.
And back in the 9th when he sacrificed, he was bunting toward first base, but with Cabrera playing 6 steps in front of first base. If he is bunting, he'll be trying to bunt this one down toward third base.
And he missed it high, 1-0.
That's a good pitch right there. In a bunting situation, you elevate the fastball just to see. if the hitter will bite on it, and if he does, a lot of times you'll get a pop-up on that particular pitch.
Lets it go by, and it's 2-0. So the plot thickening now for Thad Weber. 16th round pick of the Tigers in the 08 draft. Rangers today 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Torrealba trying to get runners to second and third. The 2-0. And there's a strike. Torrealba thought it was going to be ball 3. 2-1. Another strike, 2-2, and Torrealba, after getting ahead 2-0, walks out of the box.
That's a good pitch. It's a good pitch to bunt as well. And you wonder if Ron Washington will make him bunt with 2 strikes.
Looks like he is. Nope, he's pulling it back now. And he lines one to left, a base hit. Rayburn charging it. They're going to hold the base runner at third base, and they're loaded up with nobody out.
He hung that breaking ball in there nicely for Torrealba to slash in the left field.
So here is Gonzalez. 8 hits now for Texas. Infield coming in for the Tigers. Cruz, Napoli, and Torrealba on the bases. Gonzalez struck out his last time up against Phil Cope. Here's a squeeze, and they bunt it down. Fair territory. Weber has no play anywhere. Leland coming out to talk with Tim Wilkie. Weber picked up the baseball, looked to first, but Cabrera wasn't on the bag, I don't think. So we held on to it. And now we're going to get a meeting with the umpires. Rangers have taken the lead.
Bases loaded, nobody out, and Ron Washington on the very first pitch with Gonzalez at the plate puts on the squeeze sign, and it's worked to perfection. And it wasn't an easy pitch to bunt for Gonzalez, but he got it down.
3-2. Texas has the lead. Still nobody out, bases loaded. And Mitch Moreland pinch hitting. Infield in for the Tigers.
What was Jim arguing here? Take a look at this ball. Does it hit his foot?
Now Tim Wilkie's had enough. Apparently the argument is continuing, and I think you might be right, Rod. I think they thought it hit his foot.
Well, someone has seen a replay, and it looked like that ball was bunted down and hit his foot. A good look right here. Contacts made off the knee.
Oh, that's what it was.
That ball hit him in the knee.
There's a bouncing ball to third. They're going to come home. There's one. Here's the relay. Hey, double play. 2 gone. Boy, did Weber need that. Moreland hits into a double play.
Jim's hot now because he realizes now that someone has seen a replay and has relayed to him that that ball hit Gonzalez in his knee. He might get ran.
Tim Wilkie continues to look in the dugout. I think you're right. Sooner or later, he might get run from this game. Wilkie already has yelled into the dugout. That's enough. It's 3-2 Texas. Second and third now with 2 outs. And here's Ian Kinsler. That's in there, a strike, 0-1.
Should have been a dead ball. He is still in the batter's box, off the bat, down on the right knee.
The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kinsler. Well, crucial now for Weber after that big double play to get this final out. Leland is still hot. Slap back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kinsler is hitless in this game. Has a walk to his credit, 0 for 4. And the 1-2. High and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers will have the top of the lineup coming up in the bottom of the 11th.
We've seen some wacky stuff already this year.
That's grounded foul.
That whole batter's box fiasco in Chicago last weekend, and then ball bunted by the knee.
You know, Leland came out immediately after that play happened, so I wonder if he saw it himself or somebody saw it in the dugout.
Someone saw it, but the other umpires didn't see it.
And the 2-2. Ground ball hit to short. Should get him out of the inning, and it will. But they get a run. A ball bunted off the knee. The go-ahead run. Leland still hot. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. For a free in-home estimate, call 1-800-521-7800. Back here in the Motor City, the Rangers have gone ahead, and they lead by a run. Joe Nathan, their closer, is on now to try and pick up the save.
Joe Nathan has 3 saves this year in 4 opportunities, and he has a lot of saves in his career against Detroit batters while he was wearing a Minnesota Twins uni.
And Austin Jackson leading it off. Top of the order coming up for the Tigers. It's a strike called on Jackson.
They say that Nathan is healthy this year. He had Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago, and it usually takes you a couple of years before you get back to full strength.
In the air to right field, Mitch Moreland is cruising under it. One gone to the 11th. Moreland, the new right fielder, he stays in after pinch hitting. Cruz has moved to left field. Here's Bosch. 3-2 Texas. Still manageable considering they had a run in with the bases loaded, nobody out, and finished with 1 run in that frame. Weber got a big double play. There's a breaking ball strike. When Joe Nathan was healthy and he was going good for the Minnesota Twins and those teams that were winning the Central Division, he was recording upper 30s into the 40s in saves.
The only closer that was better was Mariano. That's how good Joe was, and he looks like he's healthy. That ball that Jackson flew out to right field on was a 95 mile-per-hour fastball.
Nathan had 47 saves in 09, the year before the Tommy John surgery. Here's a bouncing ball to first. That's a fair ball behind the bag. Napoli will win the race to the bag, and there are 2 gone. But there's still time as Miguel Cabrera strolls in. Rangers have stranded 10 men on base in this game. Cabrera's only hit a single. That was back in the 3rd. Popped up. First base side. Napoli toward the tarp. Gets back out of play. 2 rows deep. Tigers 2 runs today, 1 scoring on a wild pitch, the other on a solo home run by Bosch. Nathan began his career with San Francisco, and a big trade brought him to Minnesota. A.J. Pierzynski deal. It bounces in 1-1. Nathan was 12-4 in his final year with San Francisco. The Twins got him, made him their closer, and he was off and running. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Drill to right center field. That ball is down. It's going to go all the way to the warning track before Hamilton cuts it off, and he's going to hold him to a single.
That ball is a double on most days, but with the Texas Rangers outfield playing as deep as it was playing, that allowed Hamilton to get out there and get around that ball and get it back in to keep Cabrera to a single.
So the tying run is on with 2 outs, and now Nathan will have to face Prince Fielder. And the crowd to its feet. Fielder 1 for 4. High fly ball deep into right field, going to the corner. Moreland will make the catch in foul ground to end the ball game. Oh, Prince hit it a mile high, and it almost carried out. But not deep enough, and the Rangers hold on by the skin of their teeth. Wow. 3 out of 4 from Texas, or for Texas, and this is how close this one came.
He just missed it. You know, where's that wind, that jet stream when you need it?
Tough play for Moreland in the corner as well. And so the Rangers get a run in the 11th inning. Prince Fielder falls just a little bit short, and so do the Tigers as the Rangers win 3 out of 4 in this series. There's your final score, 3-2 and 11. Back with more from Comerica Park.